Hey guys and girls, what is going on? Joe Mills here. I'm back today for another video for y'all. Now, before I start this video, I just want to, I trust you've all had a very Merry Christmas, and I wish nothing but an absolutely amazing New Year for y'all, for every single one of my wonderful family and friends. Thank you for being in my life. You guys are amazing. I'm very lucky to have you. And yes, it's been a few days, everyone, since I last recorded a video. Now, there are a few reasons for this absence. It's because, well, I was supposed to be learning a guitar tutorial on Monday, but unfortunately, on the Monday and Tuesday, I was having like pains with my back. I was basically, I didn't have the energy to record a video, which is a shame. But hopefully, I'm back today to do a video for y'all. Now we got past the Christmas and the Boxing Day, palaver. Well, it was a really good time, because Christmas, it's about spending time with the family and having a lot of fun, and that's what it's all about. And but we're back today, everyone, for a new video, and today's going to be a bit of an interesting discussion and debate video for y'all, based on my current opinions on the music industry. Now, there are a few reasons as to why I feel the music industry isn't as strong as where it once was, and I feel that's because there are several different reasons attributed to why this could be the case. Now, one of the main reasons I feel is the use of auto-tune on certain releases. Now, auto-tune is basically when an artist gets into the studio to record their vocals, and they basically they record and then the producer use some sort of advanced mixing technique on to make them sound better than what they actually are. And I think that sort of disguises the need to actually put proper effort into your vocals, to make them more legit. And I feel that auto-tune, it doesn't make an artist work legit. And I mean, there's artists, it's all littered all over the popular music industry. I could go on and on. I mean, there's no need. I mean, my opinions on artists that use auto-tune, it's just they're basically null and void. Well, I say that, but in an upcoming review, I'll explain how I feel about a particular artist that uses it but doesn't use it excessively. I mean, if it's used on a basis where it's going to if it's sort of what they're aiming for in terms of the vocal style, then as long as they don't use it excessively, as long as it's not all over a song or an album, then it's fine. But like I said, there's just artists in the popular music industry. I'm not. There's no need to name these artists because we all know who they are. And yeah, I feel it doesn't. It just makes the music more plastic and less legitimate. And I feel that's one of the reasons it's bringing the music industry down. Now, the other one, another reason what I feel is bringing the music industry down is the use of professional songwriters to come in and write other people's songs. Now, I heard from a friend the other day that that Bruno Mars, I was a bit always speculative over Bruno Mars as to whether he wrote his own material, and thankfully he does. And even though I'm not really a fan of his music, I praise the guy for writing his songs by himself. That's the way to go. I mean, there's other artists, your Lady Gaga's or whatever. They just get professional songwriters to come in and just write songs. Basically, it basically shows they're not a proper artist in the fact that they're not writing songs that they, how can I put this, it basically it's getting other people to make their hits for them, which it's just not legitimate. It's just not cool. But then you get into sort of this sort of music I listen to, the more alternative scene, and in there's a lot more artists, that write, their songs by themselves. I mean, I'm not really a fan of the dude, but guys like Jake Bugg, for instance, I can imagine he writes his own songs. I mean, he's cool because he picks up his instruments and his guitar and he plays it. It's good, and I admire the fact that we got Rick Rubin to produce his latest album, because Rick Rubin is one of my most favourite producers of all time. But yeah, professional songwriters. I mean, there's Daughtry as well. One of my, they used to be one of my favourite bands. I mean, their new album Baptized is not bad sound wise. It's just the fact that they got professional songwriters to come and help them out. Because I feel that on their first three albums, your Daughtry, not Here and Now, Leave This Town, and You Break the Spell. Daughtry wrote the songs by themselves, and they didn't. You know, they made some really great quality tunes. You know, some may call them Nickelback and hate all over them, you know, for being too mainstream or radio friendly, but as long as the song's good, and that's the main thing. And this leads me on to another point, which is the use of computer-based sounds to make music. Now, yeah, a lot of I've been mentioning the popular music industry in this video quite a lot, because these people are responsible for a lot of the reasons why I feel the music industry is currently at a low ebb. And yeah, basically, like, it's like, no, what was I saying again? It's basically like computer-based sounds. It's basically like when like an artist will, like, you know, I don't know, yeah, someone in the popular music industry will basically, like, you know, pick a pre-made sound on a computer and like make that into a song, which is not fair, because, you know, it's just credited to somebody else working using it as your own. And also in this, there's also when artists use samples from other people's songs, you know, in the popular music industry especially, you know, you've got that song, whatever it's called, that Work Hard, Play Hard, which uses a sample from another song. That's not cool, because it's just, you know, taking other people's ideas and like using them in your own song, which is just laziness essentially. And you know, like I said in the previous video, you know, I'm always a fan of like an artist will, you know, just pick up their instruments, go in the studio, you know, like, jam it out, you know, the way Black Sabbath did in their debut, and just like record it, you know. Like I said, I'm all for, like, you know, layering songs, like adding more depth to them. It's just a case when like artists like steal like other people's, like, you know, sounds, or like, you know, use a pre-made computer sound to, like, you know, add to their song. It's just laziness, and it's just illegitimate. A lot of the reasons why the popular music industry is wrong. And yeah, it's those are the reasons. Oh, as well as there's another reason as well, everyone, which is basically the increase in digital downloads. Now, I've never been a fan of digital downloads. You know, I've always been more of a physical CD person, because I feel like a physical CD, like, you know, you get the full track listing, you know, all the songs on the release. You have got like, the cool artwork and the packaging, which I, you know, as a huge fan of art, you know, I like all that stuff a lot. And also the thing is with digital downloads, like, you can pick and choose your songs, you know, and I feel like it only, like, shows like one element of an artist, you know, like where if you buy the full physical CD, you know, I mean, digital downloads may be cheaper for a full album, but the thing is with some people, like, they'll just pick and choose the songs. Like, you know, instead of, like, you know, giving, like, the whole release a chance for me to, like, you know, get to see, like, the whole dimension of the band, you know, they'll just, like, pick one or two songs. And I feel like, you know, it's not only, like, you know, basically taken away from all the work that the artists have put into creating the songs that people have decided not to buy and listen to. It's also, like, you know, digital downloads, I don't feel, you know, illegitimate. You know, with physical CD, you know, you're actually supporting the band by actually going out there and buying their product. You know, but with a digital download, all you're doing is just basically, like, you know, buying the songs from iTunes or whatever, and you know, it's not the, it doesn't mean the same. I mean, fair enough, you can, you know, buy songs from the iTunes store, and then, you know, put them onto your iTunes and put them onto your iPod. But you can also do that with a physical CD, and yeah, I've just never really been a fan of digital downloads in general. And there's one other point I was going to make about digital downloads, and that was oh, my mind's gone blank again. It's been a few days, everyone, so, you know, all the beer and all the foods just started to settle into my system after Christmas, so yeah, there's like, it's digital downloads, like, you know, I've never been a fan of them, you know, just, I don't feel the support, like, the artist in, like, you know, like, any good ways at all. I'm just trying to think what the other point was, or what I was trying to make about digital downloads over physical CDs. Damn it. I can't remember, but yeah, as I said, like, you know, physical CDs are so much better than digital downloads, in my opinion. Oh yeah, that's the one. And the thing is with digital downloads, like, you know, you buy them from the iTunes store or whatever, and then you put them onto your computer, and basically, you know, if your computer crashes or you don't back them up, basically those files are gone forever, which means you have to, like, buy, you know, if you get, like, a new hard drive, you basically have to, like, buy the songs again. Whereas with, you know, a physical CD, you know, once you bought it, you know, you got the songs forever, and if your computer does crash, you know, if you had those songs from a physical CD on your iTunes, you know, you can just put them back on, which, you know, is much better. And I feel, you know, there's much more satisfaction that comes from, you know, owning a physical CD as opposed to, you know, a digital download. And that's why in these humble drawers behind me I have like over like quite a few CDs which I'll dip into over the course of this, you know, channel that I decided to restart and see if I can do it right this time for everyone. Now, what will be, you know, I hope you've all enjoyed this video on my thoughts on what, you know, is currently wrong with the music industry. Like, you know, as I said, what I could do to improve, like, basically, like, you know, as I said, like, music, it's not, you know, there are, you know, a large portion of it is, you know, subjective and opinion based. You know, it's just, like, with popular music, like, you know, what I could do to make the popular music more, you know, more legitimate is if, you know, an artist goes in and, like, you know, comes up with an original sound as opposed to, like, you know, picking something that's already been pre-made on a computer, or, you know, stealing somebody else's songs in samples and sticking them onto theirs in order to try, you know, and, you know, boost sale figures of their record and actually ripping off somebody else's. What I feel, you know, that industry needs is just an artist to come in and just, like, you know, come up with his own, you know, just something original, as opposed to, like, ripping off, like, other people's samples or, you know, using computer pre-made sounds. And, there's another point about that as well. I'm forgetting everything today, everyone, for some reason. And, as I'm gonna say, there's another point. Like, the use of auto-tune, what I feel a bit, you know, better in the future is if, you know, artists in the popular music industry, and also, you know, rock-based. I haven't heard too many rock-based bands use auto-tune. I'm not being biased there, everyone. It's just, you know, that's just what I've heard. And, yeah, if there's, like, less use of auto-tune and actual use of talent, then, you know, that could be, you know, actual singing, you know, regardless of how bad it sounds, you know, it's the effort that counts, you know. Like, an artist is going out there and, like, recording their material, you know, putting their actual voice to tape, and, you know, it's more legitimate, like, using all special effects. I mean, there's a band like, you know, the Black Eyed Peas, you know, their absolutely atrocious use of, like, robotic vocals. It's just basically like a facepalm moment. Like, why would you do something as stupid as that? You know, just let your proper vocals shine. You know, it's not cool to use, like, special effects on your vocals. I mean, I'm all for, like, echoing vocals because, you know, it doesn't disguise the artist's actual voice. It just sort of, like, leaves it on, like, you know, extending it. It doesn't really, like, disguise it, you know, in every, like, stupid robotic. Sorry, I almost swallowed. And, you know, stupid robotic or, like, you know, pre-made production, you know, vocal styles, they're just not cool, in my opinion. And also, another thing that's killing the music industry is the use of, you know, image over actual music. I mean, there's so much talent that goes, you know, wasted because, you know, the music industry these days is heavily based on an industry, you know, where, you know, an artist has to look good in order to make them sell a marketable product because, you know, people see the artwork and think, or, you know, they'll like the look of a certain person and they'll buy the record based on that. That's not what it's about. I mean, music is about, you know, making music. You know, it's the sound. It's not necessarily how the aesthetics of an artist. It's about, you know, the music. I mean, if an artist places emphasis on their image over music, then they should quit because, you know, music's about music. It's not about how you look. I mean, you know, I could name, you know, several bands, but I don't want to, you know, offend anyone here. But we all know who I'm talking about. You know, bands that place image over, you know, the music. I mean, you know, artists like Ian Brown, bless him, you know, the former lead singer of the Stone Roses. You know, I mean, he wasn't the most, you know, attractive looking guy in the world, but he made some killer music, and, you know, and back then, you know, in that particular time frame, you know, music was regarded as, you know, the main priority over someone's image. I mean, just look at the grunge scene from the 1990s, for instance. You know, you had dudes with ripped jeans and everything, but at the end it was like, you know, Kurt Cobain-ish and stuff, you know, ripped jeans, you know, and basically everything. You know, and basically, you know, it's about the music. I mean, grunge attracted a lot of attention because, you know, it had good music. But the thing is, today, with the popular music industry, I can't stand popular music. And, you know, it's basically, like, with some artists, about image over, you know, the music, and I don't feel that's cool. I mean, you know, it's just, like, so much talent's going wasted because, you know, people prefer to, you know, actually look at what an artist, you know, looks like as opposed to the music they're making. And I don't feel that's cool at all, you know, because it doesn't matter how you look as long as you make good music, you know. You can spend all the time in the world and rich, but if your music sucks, then there's just no point. So, yeah, what I feel, you know, in relation to that in the future, what could be the best thing to do would be, you know, it's basically, like, yeah, it's good to look cool, but, you know, if your music's not good, then what's the point? And, yeah, what I feel, you know, the music industry needs to do is basically, like, need to stop looking at people, you know, as a marketable product based on, you know, their appearance in order to make more money, and start, you know, promoting, like, the artist material, you know, like, you know, well, I don't know, One Direction, you know, they're, you know, a lot of people like them because of their image, and if that's the case, then that's cool. But, you know, at the end, I'm more of like a traditionalist, and it's about, you know, the music for me. And, you know, some of their fans, you know, are just, when, you know, that dude, wherever his name is, from One Direction, I don't really give a crap about that man, you know, he basically played in that charity football game, and, you know, he got tackled by Gabriel Agbonlahor Bastable, and basically their fans went on Twitter and abused him. I'm just like, why? You know, the dude was participating in a football game. He should expect to be challenged. You know, there's no need for some of their fans to react in that way. It's just silly. You know, it just proves just like, you know, I'm not saying all fans, you know. I know quite a lot of people that are into popular music, you know, and they're amazing people, you know. But there's the minority of fans, the very minority of fans, you know, are pretty dumb, you know. And yeah, that's basically why, you know, I don't like popular music, due to, you know, the fact that a lot of people, you know, place emphasis on like an image of a band over, you know, the music. I mean, just look at how many like people, you know, place emphasis on their image over music in like popular music. It's crazy. Whereas, you know, you get in the rock scene, you get dudes with long hair and stuff. It's just like, we don't care about how we look as long as the music's good. But in some cases, you know, I'm talking specifically about, you know, the current scene crop of bands that seems to be dying out, yes. And, yeah, like, some of those dudes, you know, they wear, like, the hair long, think look cool, because not... And I admire the fact that they don't, like, care about looking clean or anything. But, you know, it's cool that, you know, what I mean is, you know, basically, like, they're not afraid to just be different, you know, define the norm of what, you know, a dude should look like, for instance. Oh, there's no stereotypes on that anyway, so, anyway. But yeah, some of these bands, I just don't like the music at all, scene bands, you know, they're just not my scene, as I've mentioned before. And, but there's also, conversely, on the other side, you get, you know, scene bands like, you know, Mice and Men, Austin Carlisle, whatever his name is, or I believe My Valentine, Matt Tuck, you know, those dudes like cut their hair, thinking, you know, they're more of like an advocate for like the image over music sort of thing, and it's not wrong, it is wrong, because, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, you know, music's about, you know, what it sounds like as opposed to, you know, what an artist looks like, you know, that's the end argument. So basically, in summary, what I feel should happen in the future is no auto-tune, more image, more emphasis on the image of the music, you know, less pre-made sounds from a computer. You need to make stuff that actually comes from the heart by picking up an instrument, or you are using a turntable, whatever it is these popular music artists used to make the sounds, and not pre-making them on a computer or using samples. And yeah, that's basically what should happen in the future, you know, with regards music and, you know, certain aspects of that. So yeah, everyone, hope you all enjoyed this video on the current state of the music industry, in my opinion. From tomorrow to New Year's Eve, I'll be covering my, you know, top 4 albums of the year in much more detail for you all, and I think that'll be really cool. And then at the start of next year, I'm going to be outlining my plans for what's to come on this channel in the new year, which will be coming in a video on, you know, the start of next year, and also be, you know, telling everyone which albums I'm looking forward to, you know, in next year, which I'll get to in a future video. So yeah, guys and girls, hope you've all enjoyed this video. So until then, stay strong, stay safe, and I shall see y'all in the future, forever.